Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dancer, professional dance choreographer, and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States. And we have Tsubakill and Jam Republic. We got a 5v5 crew battle to watch. I am so excited about this. I'm glad we get to see more Tsubakill content because we all know they took an early departure from the show, which is very unfortunate, but I'm glad we get to see them in this light still. This is the uncut full cam version, so we're not gonna have any weird cutouts. So I'm glad the Choom posted this so I get to watch it alongside you. Let's go ahead and get into it.
You guys ready?
Yes, I'm ready! Let's go. They piping it up. You better. 5, 6.
Boy play bad man. Smash the place, 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 smash the place.
Yeah.
What them do, them road bad girl. We suck them play bad girl. But to drop them not bad girl. When them tap them it pop bad girl. Knock them out,
Wow.
knock them out, knock them out, knock them out, knock them out, knock them out.
Wow.
Tsubakill.
That energy is so hard. It is so hard to match. Okay, it looks like alcohol they're holding, which is really fun. I love it. This is so fun. Bottoms up. I like the concept they did. Let's see. Woo!
Can I get that margarita wanna rock, rock, rocks? Can I get all around that rum tray? I was like, yo, Trey, do you think you could buy me a bottle of rosé? Okay, let's get it now. I'm with a bitch, she's with friends.
Hey.
I say keys to the Benz, keys to the Benz, keys to the Benz. My, yeah, keys to the 10. Try to get cute, I'm a stopper. Double out of money, yeah, done, yo. Then I'ma go and get my Louis Vuitton.
Wow. Okay. I think this is a toss-up. Okay, let's talk through it. Firstly, Jam, something that if you didn't know this, Jam Republic or members from Jam Republic, a lot of them do come from royal family. Royal family, it is completely undisputed. The fact that their performance quality is one of the most superior top tier that is really difficult to match. And I think they really brought that energy up here. Now, do I think Tsubakill matched it? They started really well, and I think they took it to a really great place. So, and that's really hard to do when you go second against a group that sets the tone really high. And I said that about, I just said that about a crew. Deep and Dop versus Bebe. I think I said that about Bebe. When you go second, it can work against you if you don't match the level that the previous crew left it at, you know? And that's just kind of the name of the game sometimes. Nah. That was fun. I bet a lot of the crews are vibing with this because I think it's one of the first times they get to see all 5 of them in person dancing it out, you know what I mean? Because like I've already said before, there's a good chance that all of these battles happened before the K-pop challenge and before the challenges began, or this one may have happened after the K-pop challenge. I have no idea. Probably definitely before eliminations, so we want to keep that in mind. Because Tsubakill's here, and I think that would have been the focus of the elimination as well. But just look at this energy. Just look at how a lot of these crews, like you got this crew over here, 1 mil. Everybody is really paying attention and admiring the fact that they're there. Like, that's true. Ready? Watch them. Like, that was fun with the hair, da-da-da, and then went do-do-do. Super fun. Just the energy. You just see how people are responding to the energy. Look, mouths, because it is so difficult to find that type of energy in a space like this. Like, being very honest, those of you who've seen the first season, I've also seen the first season, most of the battles at this point, and it's really difficult. Now they're whacking energy. Oh my God, it was great, right? Definitely matched in the seasons, but you really got to factor in this kind of this kind of cultural groove that you see a lot of these girls possess is something very rare to see in group form here. And that's what made Royal Family, another fun fact, it's what made Royal Family so overwhelming to watch sometimes, because of that rawness of presence. And you cannot just credit that in these crews. Now, do I think some of their sequences are like they hang out in a particular groove a tad bit too long? Not here right now. I would say probably near the tail end. And they're also doing some unison here. Like I noticed with Bebe, I felt like Bebe did a lot of unison in their formations, not formations, in their content. But what's different here is noticing that they are making a change in the formations, as well as the energy choice of what they're doing in that unison section is different, and it varies and it changes, and that's something that helps compensate for the unison that they're doing, which I really love. It's just thoughtfulness, you know. And they hung out they didn't hang out there too long. Now if they hung out there for the entire 8 count, I may have said something, but they finished it out and it matched the groove, and then they hit another part of the music, which is what you want to do. And they are approaching it in different patterns. They're going to different places, and everyone is holding their own, and that's so impressive. And I love that, where Audrey just kind of breaks down. I love that. And just the marching here, just the intensity of the transition is really important to note here. And how Audrey is going, she's hitting a different part of the music, and they're riding that kind of drum marching timbre at the top, and then you have Audrey hitting that, you know, very stiff movement that she's actually phenomenal at, and I love that. And I love that they're featuring each dancer and noticing, like, you know, we have the lines here. I think Kirsten made just a slight mistake with the actual choreo. Yeah, but she hit over, but notice everybody hit with the hands. She probably forgot it, but it's okay. They're here for a good time, right? Then she picked it up, and then she finished it out with the crew. So she didn't make it look like it was something obvious. It was very subtle to catch. I love that. They went that. Like, that was just really fun. Now my question is, did everybody do it or just the features? Let me see. It was nice to have Emma here. Yeah, so I think you notice, I don't think Kirsten used her hand, but everybody else did. Were they focused on her? Yeah, so that's my note too, is that Kirsten, she made a concession to use both hands, but everybody else hit here. I think that slightly affected the cleanliness of that particular formation there. Doesn't affect the performance quality nonetheless, though. Love that, where they're facing each other. Like, that's just, they are Missy. You know what I mean? I love that. Dun, da, da. Just hitting that is just so good. I love that here, and they go knock them out, and it's matching really well. Notice too, they did not overly repeat as much as what I noticed in the 2v2, because I had already reacted to Latrice and Kirsten versus, was it Sue? Lady Bounce, I think is who they were against there. They did have a couple, like, it was too repetitive, or they bled a groove over into too many phrases of the music to where it would actually be deemed like they've extended the life of a groove a little too long than it needed to for the music they were trying to hit it on. But here they do a really good job. Even here they're like knocking them out. Now, do I think it's just a very slight formation thing? I feel like, is it Audrey right here? I really feel like she should have been in line with everybody, but you know, I love that. And look, even with them, they're smiling, they're enjoying it. They're enjoying it, you know, and I love that. I feel like there's a respect that Tsubakill has to Jam Republic. The fact that they get to battle them, like, that's super cool. Super cool. You can't discredit that. And I love the fact that they have cans of alcohol. That's a vibe. And I really love the energy that Jam has brought to the show, because they're bringing, like, they are serious when they need to, but also you have to factor in, like, they have a sense of they are enjoying their time, you know, and it's really nice to see that. And they're not taking anything like overly unhealthily seriously. Like, they're taking it the appropriate amount of seriousness, but they're not taking it to the point where they are like and I'm not saying all the crews are, I'm just saying like they're doing, you can tell in these instances, especially in the uncuts, that whenever they battle, they're not like, you know, like they're not overly emotionally invested into what's happening compared to other crews, but they're vibing out, and whatever happens, you know. And I think that's a really good approach, I feel, to take with shows like this, because editing, so many things that can happen on the back end, you never really know. So I'm always very, very big shout out and kudos and respect to Jam for how they carry themselves as a crew. I love Tsubakill's setup here. It's really fun to hear two songs from a similar era come in. I love it. I like that too, where they took it and they threw it away. Like, that was a really fun moment. I like how attentive Jam is in watching. It's respectful that they're watching, you know. Having this here, notice some of them, I will say though, that some of them, they're arching at different angles, which, you know, of course Jam had a lot of those instances too, but it's just, they did a really good job of being very clean in the beginning with how they chose to go about it, to where whenever these types of things would happen, it was a little bit more forgiving. But here, some of them are making completely different posture, stance positions that are slightly different. I like that. So they do have really complex sounds that they're hitting. Like, can I get that? Can I get that? And they're hitting it like by the syllable, which is mad impressive. That was impressive. Her just going to a jump split like that. Mad impressive. I love the pose there. Da 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 da. Very fun. Yep, that was fun. So they're making really fun transition choices to go with the music. Yeah, so I really like what's happening here, but I did say a note, if you are on Patreon, I already have released at this point in time, I already have my reactions to the dance rank mission, both the auditions and the concept, so check it out on there if you want to see it. It will be released later on this week, but if you want it now, you can go watch it there. Side note, but just take a note here that one of my things that I've really been noticing is it can take away from what's actively happening in the feature section if you have people just transitioning and walking and they're still in the frame. So that's just with camera work, but also that just can be in general. And also note the location in which they're choosing to walk. They're walking directly in front of the judges. Do you see what I'm saying? So this right here could really affect them negatively, because the people who are partially judging this challenge are there and they're being blocked by the people that are on your crew that are just walking past, you know. So I think that could have been, they could have made a different choice possibly of maybe transitioning the other way, maybe been hidden a little bit more. But that's a really big note that could have factored in the result of this challenge between these two crews. But even here too, do you notice they're still hanging out right over here? And where are our judges? They're not over here, they are back here. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's a really big thing that I think is going against Tsubakill a lot right now, is the fact that they have two dancers that are in front of what's going on right here in this feature. But they join back in and it looks really cool. All that to say, so let me go back and take a look at the actual feature because I didn't touch on that enough. I love the add-ons and I love the choices. Like, they have this really nice, like, they're keeping the character throughout the whole set, and I love that. And I love the variety of having some of them up, some of them down, going down, and then they add on. I love the add-on choices that they chose there. They're hitting the music great, and I love it. 2, 3, 4. Like, they're going one, like, it just has a great performance, and they're matching it, which is very impressive, because when you have a crew like Jam Republic who presents such a strong presence, matching that is really, really hard. And they did a great job of matching the energy. Yeah, and they go down, boom, I'm sorry, and then they're just vibing out. Yeah, and they were just having fun and enjoying it. So I really feel like both crews were enjoying it, and I love the smiles that they have. I really feel like this was a really fun battle, and there wasn't too much tension involved, you know, and I think it was great. I really wish we saw more of this from other crews, you know, but that's, you know, it happens. You gotta have a little bit of drama for people to watch sometimes. Okay, if I were to pick between the two, I would have to give it to Jam Republic because of two things. Firstly, their overall presence that they established. This was probably the first time, we got to go off of educated guesses here. I think it was one of the first times that people got to see them in the space as a group dance together. And I think there is something to be said about that presence, the level of expectation, and the fact that they met that expectation. Because we know a lot of people projected expectation on them for the Mega Cruise, and a lot of people were disappointed because of who they did not end up getting for their Mega Cruise. Do I think they held their own? Absolutely. Do I think that they really established themselves as a crew? Yes. And I think Kirsten really showcased herself as a leader wonderfully there. Did they have a couple things that I feel like really set them back? Absolutely. Every crew did though. So I really feel like in this case, you haven't had any of the other, there's a lot of expectations on that crew specifically. They met them and they elevated it. I love the energy they brought. I love the grooves that they brought. I love the pockets that they chose. And even though I'm seeing so much from them already, there wasn't a ton that they were doing that felt as repetitive as other instances of other battles that I had seen them do, that I've already talked about and analyzed through. Now, with what Tsubakill brought, it was really fun. I love the gimmick. It did remind me of Deep and Dop, their kind of caricature as, no, not Deep and Dop, Lady Bounce. Lady Bounce brought that kind of like ajushi vibe, you know, and it had that similar kind of pocket of character, but it's just more modernized, right? I think the only thing that really, I think, took away from their set was the fact they had two dancers walk in front of where the judges would have been and stay there for a good solid probably 2, 3, 8 counts. So the judges probably, I mean, at least probably 2 out of the 3 really didn't get a clear shot of what was happening on the side, because I even saw them in my camera angle and I had to look around them in order to see what was going on. I think that factored a role in potentially, that would have factored in for me of me not being able to see what they brought to the table as much, which is why I would have personally voted Jam Republic out of the two. But was that a fire battle? Absolutely. That was wonderful. If either one, I think that would have been fine, but I really believe that Jam probably took that one for a lot of the factors I already stated. So, but that was freaking awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful in some way. If you want to see more Street Woman Fighter content, you can check out my Patreon, because I have a ton of unreleased season 1 reactions already up there ready to go for you to watch. They will be released eventually on YouTube, but some of you guys, if you're definitely the impatient type like myself, you either grade all the tier options or ad-free, and you get access to everything as I make it. So even if it takes a week and a half for it to show up on YouTube, you can see it as soon as I make it on Patreon. So go ahead and check it out, but you're not missing anything. If you don't decide to do it and you just want to hang out here for a good time, I always appreciate the support and the encouragement and the discussions nonetheless. So, but thank you guys so much, and I will catch you on the flip side.